Welcome everyone, it's Vapor Drakemar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. We are going to be continuing our way up the Doom Tower. And, hopefully doing well at it. They have control champs of their own. You generally want to get rid of the Madame Ceres so you don't get one shot with this setup. It's preferable. Deacon, of course, is really valuable in this because it keeps the control. I was talking about earlier about these level 3 players that keep saying, like, buy gems and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no. Some level 3 player? Come on, man. Telling me about gems and using a legendary as your start. I mean, come on, man. How stupid do you think I am? I'm so afraid of him rezzing. Whenever I see a Brachus, I'm like afraid that they're going to res. Like, deathly afraid. Because I know the second that sucker reses, we're in for some bad times. One thing that block buffs really does is it prevents these guys from getting into their hyper status. You don't want their hyper status. You really don't. Okay, you know what? It's a good thing that I have Phoenix on the team. I guess there are more reasons than one. Because, yeah, you want block revive in this tower. You most definitely want it. Want to get them low. Keep the defense low. Perfect. So far we've done these secret rooms. Got to keep going. Krisk is going to be our first real, genuine challenge here. Maybe not. Maybe further up the tower, but yeah, we're not doing too shabby, all things considered. Almost got rid of the Krisk. You really want to get rid of the Krisk early on. You do not, and I repeat, you don't want Krisk getting away. Because if Krisk starts his major BS, you are in for a very unfun time. So that's why I'm bringing the pain to the Krisk while I can. Gonna keep it rolling. We have to focus the Sinithway. Because if we don't, he's going to focus me, and it's going to make my life a living hell. So, let's just take him out of the equation, shall we? And then second place is Bad L. Because I don't need Bad L cleansing everything and holding up the works. Feather Barrage that. Where are we at? Barbs, that's not a problem at all. Let's do it like that. I mean, we don't have Deacon, but we got War Maiden combos with High Katoon. Which High Katoon is still not terrible. You know? And we still have Syl, right? Yeah, the Barbs. The funny thing about the Barbarian factions, that although that they are free champions, a lot of them are really good champs. You know? Barring Turvold, which I still want for obvious reasons, and Elder Skarg, who I want even more than Turvold because he has very specific purposes. Now, this is not damage only, but I'm not going to do damage only in secret rooms because, like, especially this high up the tower, because that can lead to some very unsavory problems that I would just rather eschew. Okay, since I don't have Phoenix, I don't have any block revive, so that's a wee bit tricky. So yeah, we're gonna continue our way up. The main thing I didn't want to do is Barbarian factions only. I didn't want to do Barbarian factions only without a Syl. I didn't want to do that. Because the problem is, I don't have a lot more healing. Like, I don't have my... I would have done it if my March was maxed and everything and ready for that, but I didn't have her maxed. So I'm not going to attempt it. That's why. Ultimately, that's why I'm not going to attempt it. And I did that block revive on purpose. I do not want the Hegemon getting away with that. Wow. I just want to get the Arbiter out of there. If I do not get the Arbiter out of there, I'm in for a world of pain. If I don't get the Arbiter out of there. Because the Arbiter... she's painful. Well, at least we have a way of dealing with Siphi. Because you want a block revive that's consistent to deal with Siphi. Armiger can work, but he's stat fussy. He's the most accessible block revive, though, so I highly recommend if you haven't maxed an Armiger and you don't have a block revive, go do that until you get another block revive. Phoenix is a absolutely fantastic option for block revive if you have him. If you have him, by all means, max him and use him. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying that he's mandatory, but he's very useful. Because his block revive is extremely consistent. That's why. Extremely consistent, and he hits the block revive extremely hard, and he has no cooldown on it. Which is huge. Why is it huge? Because it means that he can block revive whenever the heck he wants. He doesn't have to wait. And I say this with a very clear intention here. Because basically, the more ability a block reviver has to block revive, the better it is for this tower. Because a lot of the time, when you need a block revive, it's under extreme pressure. Okay? Like, you have to stop an army, and I mean a literal army of revivers. So, in general, that's why you want a reviver, and they'll have all sorts of buffs and stuff on them to stop you from blocking revive. You also want to lock cooldowns. Why? Because, okay, you know what? I'm going for the Mashald. I don't care. And then the Ethos, because I don't want to find out what happens when Mashald and Ethos get going. Oh, at least Mashald didn't get going. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want to know what happens when Mashald gets going. You don't. Because Mashald will make your life a living hell, and he won't stop until you're dead. So that's, generally speaking, how you really need to focus Mashald. It is a dire importance. When you face Mashald, focus him. At all costs. Unless you know there's someone more important to focus the Mashald, or you are done for. Always remember that. If you see a Mashald, doesn't matter if it's Doom Tower or Arena, focus him. Also, if you have lock cooldown skills, use it on him. Even if it's like a Banshee or something, you generally want to lock his skills. If you can't lock his skills, you'll most likely lose. Or nuke him down really hard. You either have to nuke him down really hard, lock his skills, and then nuke him, or all the above. Because you don't want, and I repeat, you do not want Mashald going ham on you. You don't. Because he will ruin you. Okay, now this is our first encounter with the Eternal Dragon. Now, there's several things that you can do against this guy. My Vrask isn't perfectly done. Let's try a damage strategy. Now you're like, but what would the damage strategy entail? You might be interested to see, actually. You might be interested to see. I still think Deacon's important with this. So we'll include him regardless. Because what Deacon does is he makes it so that you can just get the waves out of the way. So this is a damage strategy. It's kind of extreme. And I'm pretty sure you can get the gist of it, right? At least I hope you can. So the gist of this strategy, and this strategy does not work for everyone, the gist isn't to survive long, unlike most regular strategies, which it works, and burns do help if you add it with it, but this is a little bit more specialized. This is the fast Eternal Dragon strategy. So the way this works goes like this. Get that on him. Try to get that weaken, and you get burns on him all the time. So you get burns in everyone. Decrease defense. More burns. Burn that down so that see, and you can increase the cooldowns on him again. With Akot the Seared. Yeah, you didn't think I was going to pull that out of my hat. Uh-huh. We got some speed strategies. We've even decreased his crit rate. Oh, yeah, you thought this was over? Nah, the pain's only begun. It's only begun. Because this strategy, if you get the burns activating later on, and then put like a resistance champ in here, we can get some really nasty results versus that boss. Really nasty strategy. Now it won't work. It won't work past a certain point. I'm going to have to use special strategies. But for that area, it's fine for that version. The other one, I'm going to have to use heals and stuff. Because ultimately, unless you have a lot of resistance, that strategy could work if you had a lot of resistance, health, and stuff. But remember, Eternal Dragon smacks really, really hard on the higher difficulties. Always remember that. Always. Never underestimate Eternal Dragon at your own peril. Always remember that. And I will see you all then.